I was out the other night. This is a new thing now when people, I was at a socially distanced backyard in Los Angeles, which we all know is burning down with COVID. We all know that. And COVID is real. Disclaimer. It's real. It can be devastating. It's fucked up several people I know. Those are all true things. And as apparently everyone in Los Angeles has COVID, even if you don't have any symptoms and if you've tested negative for COVID, you still probably have COVID. Right. That is the message from the government. Sure. If you don't have symptoms and you've tested negative, you're not out of the woods. So, by the way, that's fun for the anxiety. Hopefully nobody has anxiety. 1 in 3 LA residents have been infected by coronavirus. It's a new estimate. It's a Nielsen rating. Right. We think this amount of people are watching Jersey Shore. We don't know. But if you have anxiety, this has been great. Hasn't the last year been nicer? Remember when we all cared about mental health? Right. All of a sudden that went out the window. When the media every other day is going, do you feel good? Guess what? Did you test negative? Guess what? You got it, bitch. It's real and it sucks. But here's the other thing, and this is a message for the people that have survived it, because I've had enough. I really have had enough now I was in a yard yesterday. 2 people in the yard had COVID. Mm-hmm. They hijacked the entire event, which was not really an event. It was just a hang. They hijacked it to discuss how they both beat COVID, how bad it was, and how no one in the history of the world will ever understand the struggles that they went through. Not AIDS, not cancer, not those pussies with ALS. Nobody will understand how hard it is to beat COVID. I haven't had it. I said, I've been being relatively careful. I said, I got very sick in March. I had all of the symptoms. I had tightness in the chest. I had chills. I woke up in the middle of the night. I couldn't really leave the bed. I was exhausted. I could make it from my bed to my couch. Maybe I lost smell. I don't really know, but I know that my taste was all fucked up. I could barely eat. It took me 3.5 weeks to get my things back. And then they look at you and they go, no, you didn't have it. You would know if you had it. This doesn't even feel organic. It's a bioweapon that you do battle with. And they're literally doing like Cobra Kai moves in the yard about how COVID, they're like, you think you're good, and then it hits you from the side, and then you double over, and then you have to kick, and it hits you again. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, well, other people get really sick. You know, my friend's mother had pancreatic cancer. She fought that for 10 years. And they're like, fuck that bitch. I had COVID. You don't understand. It's a bioweapon. They act like they defeated the Chinese military with this. You can't even get a word in edgewise with these people. You can't say that other people get sick. People die of cancer. Is cancer not a thing anymore? What about AIDS with these fucking people? Lesions all over the. How about Ebola? I mean, these fucking cunts will go to Africa, people bleeding out of their eyes. There's lepers on the thing, and they go, you don't know about COVID. I couldn't taste my hot dog. You don't know about COVID. It's just a bioweapon. Ebola is just one of those cute diseases that comes from the nature. It's not a weapon. I beat a weapon. So it just gets a little frustrating. What is that? Frustrating. Doesn't it sound better as frustrate?
I do like that. It's quicker.
This whole thing, we know how bad COVID is. We know how much it fucks people up. I've had friends tell me how bad it has been for them, both physically and mentally. I understand that. Dan Carney, for example, my opener who's had it, is now occasionally tired. So I get it. I don't know why I haven't had it. They're saying people that smoke are getting it less frequently.
It's true.
This is wild. Man, if the only thing that cured COVID was butts, cigarettes, I mean, what a fucking...
I'm finding that 45% people are less likely
to be current smokers. Hospitalized COVID patients were 45 less likely to be current smokers. The science is not here on this. I'm not trying to peddle junk science, because then we're going to be kicked off YouTube and everything else. All I'm saying is this. These are curious findings. We don't know. I don't know why I haven't gotten it. I'm not trying to get it. I'm not saying that I'm superhuman or anything. I don't have any... I'm taking the vitamins that Joe Rogan tells me to take, but every now and then he calls me and he goes, you know what cures has COVID, freshly fallen snow and maple syrup. And I'm like, I don't think so, but I'll do it, right? Because he's healthier than me and I trust him. So it is what it is. He gets info from doctors and different types of people and people that are kind of doctors and kind of are doctors a little. And I respect Joe. So anything he tells me to do, I listen to him. The point is, I don't know why I haven't gotten this, but here's what I will tell you. I know that it's really bad and vicious when people get it in a bad and vicious way. But is one of the symptoms that you have to discuss it for 7 months afterwards? Is there any let up here? Because truly, when you bring up any other disease, they look at you like you don't get it. And I'm like, well, what about ALS, where you get diagnosed and you literally become a puddle and then die within 2 years? They go, nah, still no. Not a bioweapon. They go, you don't get it. This is made in a lab and I beat it. And then they tell you, they're like, this is how I beat it. I sat in a room and I just went, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it. And they're like, you don't even understand what you go through, the mental fitness you have to have. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But again, my friend's mother fought a death sentence, pancreatic cancer, for 10 years. It's unheard of. The woman was out doing marches. She was raising money. There are people that overcome horrible conditions. There are people born with horrible conditions, okay? Okay? So this idea that the only thing in the world that anyone, the mark of a man is that he beat COVID. The mark of a man, the mark of a soldier. They're acting, and I know it's bad, but the way that they're talking and acting makes me feel so much less sympathetic for them because it's getting obnoxious. It's obnoxious to tell a group of people that somehow they're less than because they didn't beat what they're calling a Chinese bioweapon. These are the people, by the way, that have had it. They're like, China tried to take Hong Kong with this bioweapon. I beat it, but it's tough. Like, yeah, my friend's mother has brain cancer. She doesn't know. She walks in a wall. She can't see anything. She's losing her sight in one eye. This is like nothing that's ever been. I'm like, okay, but what about, I just keep throwing out diseases. How about leprosy? Leishmaniasis. Go to the symptoms of leprosy, please. See if we can get the symptoms of leprosy up. Can we get leprosy, please? Because this is the stuff I was bringing up. Growths around the skin, thick, stiff, or dry skin, ulcers on the sores of feet, swelling or lumps on the face or earlobes, loss of eyebrows or eyelashes, discolored patches of skin, usually flat, that may be numb or look faded. You know, that ain't fun, right?
Yeah, it's very painful.
Yeah. Pain areas in the joints, blisters, loss of color, rashes, ulcers, redness, reduced sensation of touch, pins and needles, loss of temperature sensation, nerve injury or weight loss. How about ALS? Get ALS up. That's a walk in the park, apparently, because of COVID. Let's get ALS up. Muscle cramps, tight and stiff muscles, slurred and nasal speech, difficulty chewing or swallowing, which ends up no chewing or swallowing, okay? Literally what it does is it immobilizes you. Oh, and it's insane how bad it is, okay? Difficulty swallowing, drooling, lack of restraint, mild cognitive impairment, severe constipation, unintentional weight loss, shortness of breath, difficulty raising your foot. So you bring this up to these people and they go, dude, you don't even get it. You don't even fucking get it, dude. This is like lab made. It's something else, something different. It's just annoying. It's just annoying. And it's got to stop. I know it's bad, but it's got to stop. Life is a Pandora's box of horror, okay? People have all kinds of problems. Some people's problems are greater than others. Some people have to go through horrible things, okay? I understand that this can be an insane life-changing event for people. It could be a horrible thing. It could kill them. It could kill me. I've been open and honest about that. But what we don't want to do is annoy people to death as well by pretending that you are the only thing that matters and that the things that you've gone through are the only things that anyone should ever take seriously. That everybody else in this country that's suffering because we have an opioid epidemic or because their jobs have evaporated or because they don't have health insurance, okay? Or that they work all week for shit wages and nobody cares about them and they have to fucking navigate this world without any help from anybody. Those people should all shut the fuck up because you got sick. That is not the way to interface with the world. People do not want to tolerate that. They just do not like that. So what you have to do is you have to have some perspective and see things with proportion. And I know this is a bad disease, and I know it's affected people. People have died. Families have been ruined. And I'm not making light of any of that. What I am saying is, please, if you've gotten through it, confide in some close friends about how tough it was. But otherwise, shut the fuck up. Because there are people that are dropping dead every fucking day that have diseases that make this look like a walk in the fucking park. There's people that have brain tumors that are like, you can't even fucking operate. Inoperable brain tumors that destroy their entire lives. People hear every day, you got to get your affairs in order. So let's just put a pin in it for a minute. When you're in the yard with people and they're trying to relate to you, I'm trying to relate to you. I'm trying to go, yeah, man, I was a little sick in March. You're like, no, you know, with all due respect, you don't understand what this is. I fought the Chinese and won. Your friend's mother with the pancreatic cancer, that's a walk in, let's be honest, that's a walk in the park, okay? It's a walk in the park. ALS, wheelchair, can't move, stop. I had COVID, okay? I don't want to hear about your hemorrhagic fever, your Ebola. Boo.